Welcome to episode 51 of KinFit. I'm Michael.
I'm Tiffany, and today we are filming outside of UNI, where actually Vincent is currently working.
Yes, and it's nice to be indoors and not out in the cold today.
That's for sure. So let's get on to Fit News. So what's going on in Fit News this week?
Well, for those of you who use lack of time as an excuse to not exercise, well, you can't really use that excuse anymore because recent studies have found that short duration, high intensity interval training has the same benefits as going to the gym, let's say 3 to 4 times a week and working out an hour each time.
Interesting.
Yeah, so originally interval training was designed for high performance athletes and Olympians, for those of you who are in the Olympic spirit, and not for the quote unquote normal people. Now for those who don't know what interval training is, it's a type of training where you would work out high intensities for several minutes and then you would take short little rest periods in between each set. Now, why this was thought as a type of training program for Olympians and high performance athletes was that for those who have, let's say, chronic or acute injuries, or for the elderly who might not be able to train like a 20-year-old athlete, this might increase the risk of injury. But it's not, it's applying the principle, but working within the person's or each individual's capacity and limitations. So even if the person is injured or is elder, and might not be able to do certain exercise, you still work around that and you still apply the same principle of interval training in the program. Now, this is something that you can try out. Of course, this is a new type of program, and if you are looking for a new program to start off, definitely always check with your doctor first before you try anything new. But there are lots of benefits from interval training, and hopefully you get a chance to check it out.
All right, so on my end, some interesting news, but not necessarily very mind-blowing, but some studies have just come out and they were talking about the increased risk of stroke in women postmenopausal if they have high consumption of fat in their diet. And this kind of fat, namely the kind you find in cookies and cakes and pies, so which is really saturated fats. So we have known from before that saturated fats are something that you really don't want to have a lot of in your diet anyways, so this is just another push for you to start reading your food labels and paying a little bit more attention to what you're eating, because definitely an increased risk of stroke is not what we want.
Nope, definitely not.
Nope.
So before we sign off, I'd like to congratulate all our Canadian athletes for winning all these medals that we have so far at the Olympics. Of course, at this time, while we're filming, Canada has at least 10 gold medals. Well, by the time we air this episode, the Olympics will be over, and hopefully we will have one more.
Hope so.
Hope so, yes.
All right, that'll be it for Fit News this week. All right, so on this week's information, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what to eat and when to eat pre-competition or pre-training, because this is a question I think a lot of people have because it's very confusing. What should I eat and at what time? What if I'm training now or in 4 hours? So this is the basic rule. The closer you are to your training or your event, the more digestible and liquid your food should be. But generally, if you want to be eating a meal, your meal should be about 3 to 4 hours before your actual event begins, okay? Whether it be event in the gym or your race or competition. So this meal should comprise a little bit of carbohydrates, some protein, a little bit of fat. So basically all your food groups, if you have all your food groups in there, you're pretty good. And then in the 2 hours or the hour before, you should have a smaller snack. Could be something like crackers and cheese or a little bit of peanut butter, but something once again with some carbohydrate, because this is going to be your primary fuel source. You're going to need this to draw energy from when you're actually training. And then leading up to it, right before, you should be having still also liquids as well. So you should be hydrating well throughout the whole day, but then right up to it, you don't want to be eating anything that takes some time to digest. You probably want to stick to more water and or sports drink like Gatorade. So this is hopefully going to help you out a little bit in how to start to play a little bit with your food and try to train well. Now, I want to tell you one more thing that's super, super important is that never try anything new on a competition day. You don't want to have a nasty surprise on the day you have a really important game or race. So if you're going to experiment a little bit with what you're going to be eating, try to do it on a day that you're just doing regular training. All right, and that will be it for Information this week.
So on this week's review on the run, I'm going to be talking about the TRX suspension trainer, which is gaining a lot of popularity in the fitness industry now. Originally it was designed by Navy SEALs when they went out on covert missions and they didn't have enough space or the equipment to work out. They just basically used their body weight and they anchored it to a truck or a tree or whatever they can find that was stable. At first glance, it doesn't seem like much. It's just 2 straps with handles attached to them. But let me tell you, it has the potential to give you a total body workout. All right, so the first thing that I really liked about the TRX once I saw it was that it was very portable. It comes, if you get the tactical version, it comes in a travel bag, and it weighs around like 2 pounds. So it's very portable. Let's just say you're going on vacation or have it somewhere in your office and you do like a short workout during your lunch break. Also, like I said before, that it has the potential to give you a total body workout. And just in case that you're worried about that you don't know what to do with it, it does come with a DVD with a few basic exercises. Also, another thing that I do like about the TRX is that these handles are very functional. As you can see, they can twist, turn. You're not limited as if you were going to do an exercise with an Olympic bar. However, what I didn't like about the TRX was it was sort of pricey. This professional version goes anywhere around from $150, and if you get the tactical version, it can be over $200 just because it comes with a door anchor. Also, after a while, like you see the one at the studio here, is that the pads will eventually come off after prolonged use. So if they are going to redesign this, I would suggest that they put probably a more durable handle on this. So my final take on the TRX suspension trainer is that, let's just say you're someone who's looking to build muscle mass or partake in bodybuilding competitions, this might not be the right tool for you. However, if you do plan on traveling a lot or working out at home, I would highly recommend it. Even though the price is a bit steep, it's still cheaper than any home gyms out there. I would highly recommend it just because of its portability and functionality. So for more information on the TRX suspension trainer, you could visit their website. And that's it for this week's review on the run.
So this wraps up this week's episode of KinFit.
Please check back our show notes for all the pieces of information we want you to find out about.
And if you have any ideas, suggestions, or questions you want to send us, just email them to us at info@kinfit.tv.
Big thank you goes out to Vincent again for his reviews on the run and for helping us with the camera work.
I'd like to thank you and I for giving us the space to film today. So remember, don't quit.
Stay fit.
Because I
You're doing
forgot
that girl thing where you think too much ahead of yourself.
Yeah, because I also forgot about it's for women over 50.
Dangerous.
So what's going on in Fit News this week?
What the heck was that? So what's happening at Fit News this week?
Because I was about to say KinFit.